Just a little reminder here of what Venice looks like in the sunshine, or did in 2002 anyway. The choice then is sunshine, possibly, but with crowds, or November and possibly fog. We have seen how Aquileia was a Roman town and one of the biggest, richest and strongest in the Roman world. Before this area suffered the invasion of tourists, even before the fall of the Roman Empire, Aquileia had suffered sieges. In 238 AD she had been besieged by Maximus, whom she repulsed. In 361 Jovinus attacked. In 388 she was attacked again, and this time taken by Theodosius. But life went on. However, the empire was crumbling. The barbarians were pouring over the Alps. Small numbers of these raiders could be seen throughout Venetia, all the way around to Verona and Padua. But by 401 AD, Alaric and his Goths, many of whom had been serving as auxiliaries in the Roman armies, were bringing terror throughout the area, devastating farms and livelihoods. The real knockout blow, the coup de grace to any remaining thoughts of living a peaceful, civilized Roman way of life, was delivered in 452, when Attila and his Huns succeeded in completely devastating not only Aquileia, but Roman towns all the way across the region to Padua. Gradual migration away became a flood, and it appears that the scattered islands of the lagoon all the way round from Grado to what we now call Venice and beyond were the only places which these refugees could go. At first, the refugees perhaps existed there in what they thought might be a temporary refuge. When another wave of barbarians, the Longobards, arrived during the 500s, these surviving Roman citizens had to abandon hope of return. In 568 they built Torcello. Later the centre moved to Malamocco and then to the Rialto, and the rest is history. We're back in 2008 now, and we're in the courtyard between the cathedral and the palace. We're just starting our secret tour of the palace. And of course we can't take pictures in there either, so for a film this is rather unfortunate. You may think, looking at this palace, that there are 4 floors, but as our guide told us, there are actually 5. There's a secret one in between there somewhere, where they did all the secret things. The one thing we could take pictures of for some strange reason is this golden staircase here. So you may think there's rather a lot of it, but that's because that's the only thing we could use. Again, I've assembled a few pictures from the internet to try and give a brief idea of what it's like inside, but to get a real idea you'll really need to look at Francesco's film. I notice he was given the run of the place. You can take pictures out of the window and then they let us loose on the prisons, and there was nobody around to check, so I've got some pictures of this. lost round here. Might never get out. Even lower down now. I don't think I'll ever get out of here. Now then, could this be it? Could this be the way out? Not sure where we are now. Seems to be in a little yard now with a well and all the cells here. Probably where what's his name came through. Now I seem to be going upstairs again. Another row of cells here. Oh look. Well, look, sure as this one's got beds in it. Right, we've just come up here now. Now up here. That's me speaking. And we're actually on the bridge of size, so called. See San Giorgio over there. So now we've finished the secret tour of the palace and we're pushed out to join the hoi polloi into the rooms where everybody can go. I'm afraid these pictures can give you only the slightest impression of these magnificent rooms. Of the many paintings, this one is perhaps the most famous, by Veronese, called the Triumph of Venice. It's in the ceiling. We did see the room, which has portraits of the first 76 doges around the wall, the portrait of Marion Fallier being covered by a black cloth. But just before we leave the palace, can I just say that on my return from Venice, there was a film on television about Casanova, which was actually shot in Venice, so I pinched a few shots from it. It gives a brief idea of what life may have been like in Venice in the 1700s. I didn't see the chickens, but everything else looks very familiar. This narrow passageway may be the one we went down, although I dare say there are one or two others very similar.
It's all right.
Again, I didn't see a Punch and Judy show. But we did, if you remember, make a special diversion down an alleyway to see a special wooden door with a wooden door knocker on a certain palazzo. And as you can see here, that's where they shot this scene of the film.